Okay, welcome back, creatures of the night and Canaanites, as we continue our look back at the rivalry and future alignment of the Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker and Kane. And joining me here, as always, as we take this look back, is my great friend, my brother of destruction in Canada, Kanenite10. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm well. We're just always talking figures. Just
Right?
before talking about figures, and we always talk endlessly about the Bendums, the micro
Always
Bendums,
do.
the $1,800 micro Cactus Jack that I'm sure everybody's aware of if they're figure collectors.
Ridiculous amount of money for such a small figure. It's like, really, I mean, what are people spending their money on nowadays? 1,800.
That $80,000 for a PSA 10 Blue Eyes, $500,000 for a PSA 10 Charizard first edition Shadowless. Like, yeah, it's just collector's market is ridiculous. Although that Padawar guy that did all the classic superstars and stuff, he still thinks that toys are undervalued, which I sort of agree, especially with how cards have gone. And it's only a matter of time before they catch up. But oh boy, those kind of statements make me a little nervous for, well, not as much for me because I have a lot of Kane's rare and old stuff.
Mhm.
But Undertaker has a lot more than Kane does, and I'm a little worried for you.
Oh, don't get me started. I know. I still have to get those Hasbros, like the Hail Away, the Series 8 red card. Not looking forward to seeing if these prices increase already as much as they already have.
How much is a mail away?
Oh, and last time I checked, at least $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah, it's as much as that. Right around that Toy Fair 1 of 100 glow in the dark Undertaker. It's right around that $1,500 mark. It's
The Jack's Classic Glow in the Dark or the Unmatched Fury?
the Jack's Classic. Last time I checked, that was about they were asking for almost $2,000 on that.
That's honestly less than I expected.
It's
I don't
still
know why.
a huge chunk of change for like a figure, and it's like, oh,
That's where you just like you gotta just put $100 a paycheck and wait a year and off you go. I don't know which would like what would you rather have? Would you rather have the 100 or the mail away?
I mean, if I was faced with that decision, I don't know. Probably the classics. Probably the classic because it's just it's at least 100 of them, so it's maybe more rare to find down the road. You don't really know how many mailaways they actually created, so there may be a bigger market on those. But
That's fair, that's fair. Or there might be more available and stuff.
yeah,
If you ever got one of those 100 figures, would you mail it to get Undertaker to sign it if he was
no,
doing a signing?
I don't want nothing signed, no figures in my collection signed. I don't want nothing to stand out from a different thing. I'm just that kind of.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just that. I'm just if I don't want anything in my collection signed because it like makes it bigger of a centerpiece than anything else, and I want everything else. I want all the figures to remain neutral.
You can't tell me that a Jax RA 44 he was in 40. RA 40 Undertaker is as neutral as a Jax 1 of 100 classic superstars.
Keeping it all neutral, no signature, maybe signature on something else that I won't have, maybe a duplicate figure, like maybe one of those 30th edition Undertakers from Mattel, maybe one of those have signed, but something I would only have,
Do you like that figure? Is that
I see only having one of something. I'd rather have one of something that won't have a signature on it.
That's very interesting. Like I did that Kane mail away last summer. I know I talked to you about it, and the stuff I had signed was just more. I picked my favorites out. I did a goatee Decade of Domination Kane because that's like I'm calling it. That's going to be a future Grail, man. Like it already is super hard to find as is.
Never
I
seen
said
that person.
no, you won't. You won't see it in person. They're all around Chicago area, Wisconsin, places like that. It seemed on the northeast side of the states. At least that's where I tracked a lot of my sold sales. When I first found them, I stopped tracking them. But I feel like there's a plant there and a shipment went out and spread around that area.
Makes sense.
I feel it all came out of one factory. That's just my personal guess and opinion. I also have I sent the Super Stunners Kane away to get signed because that's one of my favorite figures. I just love that figure. Sent it away, wanted it signed.
Yeah, and
so that's sort of why I picked the things I picked. I also got a mask signed, like one of his plastic masks. I think that's kind of cool. But I picked the things that are like, this is my favorite figure, one of my favorite figures. I want that signed. That's sort of how I picked it. And like, if I personally had a 1/100 glow in the dark Undertaker, I would for sure get that thing signed.
See, I would probably pick favorite. Like if something I constitute something a favorite figure, I would have multiples of. And of course, a 1/100 is a great figure to have. But of course,
that would be your favorite. That's my favorite Undertaker figure, man. That's such a sick. I love glow in the dark figures as is, and then it's just so sick. That's such a good figure.
And I'm only gonna probably get this once in a lifetime figure. So it's like,
that's the thing. So why wouldn't you get it signed someday when you have kids, or if you don't have kids, whomever inherits your collection will be thanking you because the Undertaker will be long dead by then. 1/100. I haven't seen any signed. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm sure there is. But there has to be under 5 of them signed, maybe 10. I don't know.
No, I'm just that way. I don't want something I only have one of to be signed.
That's so like it would. I don't get that.
I've always been weird.
That is very weird. Just because, like I said, that you even have one of it, you increase it even more by having it signed.
No.
The Undertaker handled the figure personally himself. His fingerprints are on the figure somewhere.
His DNA could be on there. He could have had a saliva spit on it.
He coughed on it, Wow, that's so wild to me. Like, if I ever did, I have a lot of Kane signatures, mostly on trading cards, like that are official release. But unofficial things that I have signed, I have the Classic Superstars 3-pack, a Kane Undertaker Bearer. And the reason I got that is because Paul Bearer is deceased. And I'm very picky when it comes to multi-packs. If you're going to get a multi-pack sign, you have to have everybody involved in the pack signing it. Otherwise, it looks goofy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, like, unfortunately, you have Classic 3-packs with Andre the Giant in it. Like, you can get Jake and who was the other one in that 3-pack? I can't remember.
Big John Studd, I think.
Oh, you're not getting his signature either.
Yeah.
But I see some of those with like Jake signing it. It's like, like you can't get the other two. It just that kind of kills it for me. That's why I picked up that 3-pack. I love Paul Bearer, and like he passed away, and paint pen autographs were pretty rare. They didn't start coming around till the 2010s, so there's very few Paul Bearer paint pen autographs, so that's why I grabbed it.
Yeah.
But the other things I have signed, I have an Elite 19 signed by Kane, but I got that for, I don't know, a really good, really cheap deal. And I said, oh, what the heck? That Elite's worth that without the signature. I'll just grab it. I'm trying to think what else I have signed. I have a couple.
I know everybody listening is probably or watching is probably saying, "Oh, I'm so weird," and "Oh, how can you not get that signed?" I was like, "Nope, sticking by that. Sticking. I just if it's something I'm only gonna have one of in my collection, I want it to be just as plain as everything else. That's gonna be.
Well, I guess you're saving up $3,000 to buy a couple of the 1/100s.
I mean, if I ever come across a second one, even I'm sure I would get a second one signed.
You haven't even come across a first one.
I haven't even come across a first one, so yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. The other thing that I have signed, other than official release things, I have a couple interesting things. I got a WWF New York coaster signed by Kane. I thought that was kind of cool. I got it for dirt cheap, and I was just like, this is kind of cool. Just like a little sit on the shelf kind of thing. I have a Comic-Con championship collection picture of Kane signed, but I also have a nice promo picture of him with the WWF title. That was like the one picture. I'm not crazy about signed 8x10s and stuff, honestly. I don't really care about that. I'd rather have a signature, a nice paint signature on a figure, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But that was the one thing I wanted signed on a picture was him with the title, the WWF title, nice signature. So I got that, and that's all I need for signed pictures anyways.
Nice. And I'm sure
So
if I ever come across the opportunity to meet the Undertaker again, I would definitely get a duplicate figure I have here signed.
a duplicate. Like what if wow.
Probably the Mattel 30th edition Undertaker.
Why that one?
It's just nice. It's a figure centered all around him. It's got a nice purple box or a nice purple paint pen on that will really make it just really nice. It's because it's a figure just like dedicated to him. So it's like a special collector's figure of him.
Is that your favorite figure of him?
It's one of my favorite figures, especially the presentation of it. It's definitely one of my favorite ones.
But what about that Legends, that Target Legend?
That's a nice one too to get signed. It'd be one of those two, I think. Be one of those.
You wouldn't get more than one.
Depends how much the autograph is.
Oh, he's an expensive autograph now.
Oh, he is. I've been to him twice. I know he's an expensive autograph. I don't know how much the price is different from when I saw him.
Where did you meet him?
Chicago, twice.
Like a Comic-Con or something?
Yeah, Wizard World in 2015 and a sports. I don't remember this. It's like Sports Authority something in 2019, November of 19.
What was he like?
Nice. He's awesome. It's a great person.
Quiet, I assume?
Yeah, quiet. He's funny. He cracks jokes. If you crack jokes with him.
I assume you didn't have that much time to like sit and chat with him.
No, you have about 20, 30 seconds. Because when
you tell him that you collect all his stuff or anything?
When he's signing and talking to you, that's about 20, 30 seconds to get through everything. And I told him that I've been a fan for so long. I told him about my first memories of him. I collect stuff of him. He's very appreciative that, of me being a fan and appreciative of my passion to collect the stuff for him and still be able to watch his matches and be a fan of his.
That's cool. My one big regret is when I was on a show. For your listeners that don't know, I wrestle Secret Identity, but anyways.
Yes, Secret Identity is a professional wrestler. We will not reveal your Secret Identity name, but you are a professional wrestler.
I was on a show with Mick Foley, and when I was a teenager, big Foley fan, of course, right?
Yeah.
And I remember him on his DVD saying, "Hey, if you ever meet me on the street, like tell me what my favorite promo of yours, or tell me what your favorite promo of mine was." And I always wanted to tell him that it's Chris Candido promo. I don't know if it was ECW or Smoky Mountain or where the heck it was. But he's talked about Candido will feast on my two fists like they're two big Cheetos. I love that promo. I can't even find it online. Like it's on his DVD, but I always wanted to tell him and I forgot when I met him. But I regret that. I'm like, man, I bet you nobody's ever talked about that promo with him.
Oh my God, that's hilarious though.
That's like when I meet Undertaker. If I ever meet the Undertaker, I would be like, hey, I really like how I'm sure everybody's told him how he takes turnbuckles because he's phenomenal at it. But his whip reversals and lots of little things. I feel like I'd impress him. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Probably will. I don't know. So. Yeah, I don't know what other people. I'm sure they never bring that up. And he likes. I know about Undertaker is he likes to being told different things that he's not already always told.
Oh, who doesn't though? That's everybody. Let's be honest.
Because when I told him about the stuff I collect, and I show him the little I think I told you before, I gave him little trinkets, stuff like that. That really impressed them. That really took him back. Oh, he's getting something. It's it's something different that he's not already used to. And I told him about the thing about I became a fan by watching him late at night when I wasn't supposed to hang Austin on a cymbal, and he like taken aback, like he may not always hear that memory.
Of course, of course. Like, yeah, I want to tell him like little things that I notice in the ring that he does, and I also want to tell him that I thought his old school trapped arm tombstone was super cool. I love that. How he used to have his one arm under the guy's shoulder, basically for obvious safety reasons.
Yeah,
but I always thought it looked
like
cool.
that. Yeah.
But anyways, now we're on to an Inferno match.
Yes. The reason we are here is not just one, but we are giving you another double feature out there. We started off with the Inferno match on Raw, February 22nd, 1999. For those of you like me who have Peacock, it is season 7, episode 8. Inferno match on Raw, the first Inferno match on Raw, maybe the only Inferno match on Raw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is. There's only one on SmackDown as well.
Yep. There's one on SmackDown later on in the year. And then, but we are not stopping there. We are going to move forward all the way to August, where we give you SummerSlam 1999 as the Unholy Alliance of the Undertaker and Big Show battle Kane and X-Pac for the World Tag Team Championships. So we have 2 very fun matches here. I know the Inferno match, the ending with that whole visual with Vince and the Undertaker is one of my favorite things from the Ministry of Darkness era.
I was gonna say, that's like your favorite thing ever. You always talk about that.
And the SummerSlam tag match is also a very fun match. Just seeing Undertaker interact with X-Pac, someone he very rarely interacted with and beforehand. And again, you get the Undertaker and Kane dynamic again with the tag team match. So I am looking forward to this. Are you ready out there?
Yep.
Perfect. You are on YouTube?
I am on YouTube.
I am on the Peacock, queued up at 1 hour, 20 minutes, 25 seconds. We are the main event of Monday Night Raw on February 22nd, 1999. So 3, 2, 1, play. And as you said, your version is just like my version here. We are queued up to see Vince McMahon make his entrance.
What's he got in his hand? When did the Undertaker dress up like Kane the second time when he was Ministry Undertaker?
I believe it is.
Was that before or after this?
I believe it is after this.
Oh, WF exclusive merchandise at the Home Shopping Network. More catalog items that we will never find.
I was just telling you about this off air. I was talking about.
I just saw it now. Yeah.
On this week's episode of my podcast, I talk about the Home Shopping Network at WrestleMania 15. And here's another glimpse of the Home Shopping Network exclusive merchandise. I hope there wasn't exclusive figures.
Or if there was, just like Austin and Rock.
Oh, hopefully that Undertaker Kane, please. But Vince says, I think he's got his announcing papers, what he's going to be joining commentary with.
Is this after Undertaker? Sorry, I missed that. When Undertaker disguised himself as Kane.
No, I think this is before.
Okay, I thought so too.
Yeah, this is before, because this is right after Undertaker has threatened Vince with the papers. These are those papers. I take that back. He just said that. The papers are the ones Undertaker gave to Shane. I think it may have been the week prior. He gave the papers to Shane, like he wants total control of the WWF.
Oh, okay.
And I think him dressing up as Kane is right before WrestleMania, maybe a week or 2 before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just remember that's the last time Kane's double sleeve shirt or suit attire, whatever you want to call it, was ever used, as far as I know. Because Kane had stopped wearing it a year before that. Maybe not a year, 6 months.
And what's odd is I'm surprised Kane does not wear the double sleeve in these Inferno matches.
Well, the double sleeve did not exist for the first Inferno match. The double sleeve
sure
came
they could've-
after
I'm sure
because,
they could have created it.
but the whole thing behind the double sleeve was the first blood match, so they covered him up more
Yeah.
because he didn't want to bleed, right? Which of course it makes more sense, but obviously it just didn't exist for the first Inferno match. It did exist for this one, but he stopped wearing it in late 98, September 98, whenever he had that cell match with Mankind. That was the last time he wore that double sleeve attire. He ended up ripping the left sleeve on it,
Yeah.
which it was repaired when Undertaker wore it, because I just watched that video not long ago. Kane is starting to really lean up a little bit here. This is the very start of Kane getting lean, and I'm very excited because SummerSlam 99 is Kane at near his leanest, probably around that time period.
Yeah, he's very lean and thin at SummerSlam. I remember that.
Yes.
And now
And then he gets injured and comes back in that infamous comeback in 2000 where he comes out with Paul Bear again in the inverted attire, and he is just massive.
I think we need to take a look at that Kane return one of these days together. Because
I'm down. That's Kane's like one of his best moments.
Yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember that. Like I remember that happening, but it's like I keep wanting to watch it, but I don't know exactly what day that takes place. So we should watch that together.
I think it's after Mania, because Kane, I believe, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the injury that he was out for was when he broke his hand. So it was like summertime-ish in 2000. This must be the damn near the end of the Undertaker wearing this attire, speaking of.
Yes. I think this is one of the last times he wears this type of attire. He gets his ministry attire shortly.
Yeah, this is still his 98 WrestleMania 14 attire.
Yeah.
Kane's still wearing the third mask too.
He gets the ministry attire in WrestleMania.
Oh, is that the debut of it?
Mm-hmm.
Kane has his third mask on, and it is very dark in this match now because it's been worn for 6 months at this point. Oh, the ring's not lit up.
I always liked this version of Undertaker's attire. This 98 Lord of Darkness fits him very well.
With the ministry head?
Yeah, I like it. I like this like mashup.
Yeah, it's like gothic.
Yeah.
I do too. I've always liked this Undertaker attire, but this is like very well-known Undertaker attire for me.
Yeah, I like the mashup of the ministry.
Right now.
Ministry.
Just an FYI.
What was that?
I just got an ad.
Okay, let us pause. Peacock. Because usually I'm the one getting.
Oh, is Kane punching the Undertaker against the ropes? Whipping him off?
Yes.
Kane just kicked him up?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's like a weird cut where it's all of a sudden the lights were dimmed, and I thought maybe it skipped something.
Yeah, Kane is punching the Undertaker at the ropes here and whipping him on the ropes.
And they just power slammed him?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I agree.
Vince looking at Cole. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. This is a nice mashup, but this is also like, in my opinion, the iconic Undertaker look for attire-wise. Like this is when WWF was at the peak, and Undertaker wore this throughout his feuds with Kane and Austin.
Oh yeah, this is iconic Undertaker, attitude Undertaker.
If you had to pick one attire to own, would this be it? Although he has different tights on for sure, because he's got the Taker symbol on it.
Yeah, this is like Survivor Series '98. I think as we saw last time, he had the.
Did he have that on there?
Yeah, he had the T.
My quality was really bad, I think, for.
Yeah, that was like Survivor Series '98, and I remember Rock Bottom '98. He had like smaller TXs, like he had like 3 smaller X's on his leg.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have this one.
No, this is like Survivor. I keep saying SummerSlam. Survivor Series '98.
This is just another one of Kane's attires at this point. I don't think this is the imposter Kane attire. Oh, Paul Bear's out here.
Oh yes, we get the emergence of Paul Bearer.
He had turned on Kane at that point, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's with the Undertaker. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's right, because he turned on Kane way back when. Wow, you look at like Kane's been around for literally a year and a half at this point.
Yeah, I can't
And
believe that.
he's had two Inferno matches, a major feud with the Undertaker, joined up with the Undertaker. Paul Bear's been with him. Paul Bear's left him. He has won the tag titles twice with Mankind at this point. He
And
has
the
won the WF
championship.
title. Yeah. Great buckle. Look at that.
Yeah,
Great buckle. I like being here to point these little things out to you.
I love it. I love it. I love when you're here and pointing these little things out.
I'm sure you noticed them as well, but like that buckle, he just throws himself into them.
Makes them more of an impact.
And it's just impressive because he jumps from so far away when he does it. Like that Mania match.
Oh, he just struck Kane with some sort of wrench.
I'm not quite there. Undertaker just had the bear.
Here's
Or
Vince.
Vince has the bear. I mean,
Yeah, yes.
he's trying to unmask Kane right now.
Vince has the bear.
I didn't know Undertaker went after Kane's mask in this match. I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too.
He had it up a bit. This is very much about Vince McMahon, this match. This match is just secondary to the storyline, clearly.
Yeah. It is secondary because you know it's focusing on Vince and the company and Undertaker trying to get that power struggle. This is just like I don't know.
Undertaker just got tossed out of the ring, and I see the red from them. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Undertaker moved it out of the way at one point. Whoa, Kane almost slipped there. Into the announce table. Am I a little ahead of you?
I have Kane on the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, and then he kind of slipped off the rope, it looked like.
Yeah, yeah, because the flames are probably making everything slippery.
That's very true.
I got Vince crying with the teddy bear now.
Look how dark Kane's mask is here.
Yeah, very dark.
Well, that's just wear and it gets stained and whatever. That's what happened to all of them. Kane History and More actually on Instagram has some posts. You'll have to dig for them, but showing like the mask when it was new and then the mask when it was worn out, like his inverted mask, his first one.
Mm-hmm.
When it was fresh, obviously the red was very pop.
Oh yeah.
And he wore it for a long time. Even when he was wearing the singlet, he wore that mask. And that mask was almost completely black at the end.
Wow.
It was actually really cool. I like when his masks get kind of weathered and worn. I think they look more menacing. Oh, there's that last second reverse. I love those. Like they're almost I can't even describe it.
These Inferno matches.
The last second.
The Inferno matches always end on the outside of the ring, and I guess they need to get out of there to catch the breath and everything.
Well, and for the finish, you can't really.
As we see right now, the finish, Kane's foot's on fire.
Yeah, they can't really. I'm very curious. I wasn't paying that much attention. Did Kane get near the apron at any point where they could put something on his foot?
I don't think he did, unless they were doing that to him after he hit the announce table. He had the whole group of referees over him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had a whole group of referees and Gerald Briscoe admonishing the Undertaker.
I doubt he would.
But as we see here, one of the most lasting images is Undertaker burning the bear of Stephanie McMahon and tossing it up the ramp. It's so lasting now that they made a trading card of this just recently in the newest trading card set, a pack of Undertaker famous moments on tombstones. And
really?
This is one of the ones they picked, one of these moments that Undertaker.
Oh, on tombstones. That's cool.
Vince McMahon kneels before the darkness, I think it's called. But that is very cool. That ends this. I'll look back at this Monday Night Raw episode of the Inferno match. So
Yeah,
before,
you're sorry, I'm just gonna add in here. You're absolutely right. Because there is a man, when Kane hits the announce table, there is a guy that gets up and has like a bag.
there you
He
go.
goes around and he's going to Kane's feet, and then it cuts to the Vince McMahon holding the bear, so you don't see it. He's putting something on at that
I
point.
had a feeling if there was any time at any point, that was it.
And that was it, because it was just like a random guy in a WWF shirt.
A random guy in a WWF shirt.
Well, obviously a fire guy, right? Like, I have no idea who it was. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
yeah, that's how. And he went to Kane's feet. Like, you could see him go past Kane's head, and he went down to his feet. And then it cut away to Vince. So that's 100% where that happened. Good eye there on you, because I wasn't thinking enough to pay attention.
Thank you. Thank you. So before we get started on SummerSlam 1999, what did you feel about this Inferno match? What was your takeaways? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
That was like the most basic match. How many bumps did everybody take?
I
Like,
mean, doesn't hold the candle
three?
to the first one. I mean,
No.
the first one is iconic and it's classic. It's one of my favorite matches.
None of the 4 Inferno matches that have ever happened hold a candle to the first one. Although the MVP one's not bad.
Yeah, and if spoiler alert, I think for all those listening out there, before next week's video drops, of course, my second favorite match that's going to be on my top 5 list is going to be the Inferno match. I just love watching that one back. It's everything that they do in that match. I think I like the Inferno match more than the WrestleMania match.
Wow, that's wild. Like, for me, I like the Mania match more.
Just because all the imagery and Undertaker attacking Paul Bearer with those musical instruments is hilarious. Just that little cutaway, instead of Undertaker focusing always on Kane, he focuses on attention on Paul Bearer and just chasing
That's when
Paul
Kane
Bearer.
was getting prepared.
Yeah.
Kane was getting his arm prepared. That's why.
Just chasing Paul Bearer up the stage and attacking him with musical instruments. It's hilarious.
I remember I had seen that match when I was younger, before I moved and had internet. And then after I moved and had internet, I kind of was like bummed about wrestling in a way, because Kane had unmasked and he's like losing kind of the Shane and stuff. And I'm like, fuck, like, this is weak, right?
He's losing to Shane?
I don't know if he lost, but his first major feud after he unmasked was with Shane, right? He had that. I don't think he lost, but he's getting. They did a lot of cool stuff. Like, they had that last man standing match, and then they had the ambulance match.
And Kane tombstoning Linda. I remember that.
That's what started the feud, right?
Yeah, that's what started the feud. Kane tombstoning.
And then the limo into the side of the semi trailer that was on the Raw intro forever.
Yeah, does Shane get tossed into a pit of fire, or does Kane get tossed into
There's
that?
like it's a Kane falls in the dumpster of fire, and then they
That's
don't
it.
recover his body and stuff. And that was like, looking back, like, I kind of like it, but I just hate that I understand it, but you're building Kane up to be this unstoppable monster, and then the boss's son gives him a lot of trouble. Like, that just, to me, that didn't
Oh,
sit
I
well.
know.
So, but anyways, I always loved the character of Kane, the unmasked, those things.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved and first got internet, I started downloading old Kane matches, and I'd never seen their WrestleMania match.
Okay, that's fair.
So I'm watching it when I'm like 13, and a couple things stick out big time is like the Undertaker doing that dive through the announce table. That blew my mind when I was a kid, and it's still pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kane kicking out of 2 tombstones, almost 3. Like, I could not even believe that. That blew me away. I've never seen someone kick out of a tombstone at that time. I don't think has anyone around 2005 had anyone kicked out of a tombstone. I feel like Kane's probably the only guy.
I believe Hogan did in 91.
Yes.
I think Hogan kicked out of a tombstone.
That makes sense.
And then nobody else did until Kane.
And then nobody else did probably until what, Sean?
Oh
Some
my
Mania
God.
matches somewhere. Did Edge ever kick out?
No.
Like, go through his Mania matches.
Yes.
Batista
Yes.
didn't. Edge didn't.
Edge did. Edge kicked out of one in 24.
Really?
That's when
What
the
year was that?
referee,
That's like 2007, isn't it?
2008. That's when the referee was running down, and by the time the referee gets down there, Edge ready
Oh,
out.
that makes sense, right? That's not a full kick out then.
No, it's not a
Is
full.
that the next time after Kane though that someone kicked out?
I'm unsure if Angle kicks out of one in No Way Out.
But what year is that? 2006?
2006.
Okay, keep in mind I watched this WrestleMania match in 2004.
Yeah,
So
JBL
we
doesn't. Yeah, because
we had quite a few years of Biker Undertaker not doing tombstones as well, or very rarely, right?
Yeah.
So I'd never seen anyone kick out, let alone, okay, he gives him another, and he kicks out again. Like, what? He kicked out of two?
Yeah.
That like just
It's
as a fan, I was like, holy shit. And that like made me love wrestling again.
Yeah, and I love, and in the Inferno match, I love the suicide dive onto Kane and Vader over those flames.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I just love all the interaction with the flames shooting up high with every huge move, like the old school. When he hits Kane, the flames shoot up. Just the imagery of everything in that match. Of course, I love the WrestleMania match. I love the storytelling and the entrances and the things you mentioned. Him going through the announce table, and that suicide dive into the announce table, and Kane kicking out the tombstone, just wearing down the Undertaker. Like I said, one of my favorite tombstones is the last tombstone to Kane at WrestleMania. He's like, Undertaker is so tired.
That's the cleanest one on Kane, is that last one.
He tombstones him, and then Undertaker just regularly covers him. He doesn't do the Undertaker cover.
Well, he did it twice and Kane kicked out, so he has to hook the leg. Like
He's just so exhausted. It's just, I love it. I love WrestleMania, but I love.
That's like, we were talking about little things in wrestling. That's like a nice little touch. Is he's done this twice, it doesn't work, so he has to hook the leg, which is a stronger version of the pin, and that's what keeps him down. And even so, just barely.
Yeah, just barely.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed at 20 that Kane didn't kick out any, but whatever.
Yeah, that's true. So, where are you at SummerSlam 99? What is the YouTube?
Right before Kane's entrance starts.
Okay.
So this one is also on YouTube.
And you said the WWE posted that one, correct?
Yes, actually.
Nice. So I am at season 12, episode 1, SummerSlam 1999 on the Peacock channel. Kanenite10 YouTube, full match posted by WWE. I am queued up at 1 hour 39:15 seconds, right where it's the pan of the crowd as Kane's music's about to hit. And I am ready to rock and roll. How about you?
Yeah, let's go.
Perfect. So we are here at the Unholy Alliance of the Undertaker and Big Show, fresh off the Ministry of Darkness against Kane and X-Pac. Quite the duo as Undertaker and Big Show look to add their first World Tag Team Championships to the resume. So here we go. Play. Now, Undertaker is going for his second World Tag Team Championship.
I was going to say his first was with Austin, right?
Yep. This is the Undertaker and Big Show look to be the first together.
Yeah. And this is Kane's first. Also, fun fact, the debut of the inverted attire. Also, yes, Kane is a lot leaner here, but he is not quite at his leanest yet. I feel like Kane might have started putting on a little more size again. He is thinner, don't get me wrong, but he is not at his thinnest. I don't know if that was before or after this when he was at his thinnest. I feel like it was a little before. JR even pointing out Kane's new ring attire. Fun fact about this ring attire, apparently Kane didn't have any other real, he had the double sleeve attire, but he got the idea from this attire from WWF Attitude, the video game, because they would just palette swap attires when guys didn't have other attires.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they would just, X-Pac's, instead of having red, he'd have blue, yellow, and whatever else, in the N64 games. And Kane didn't have other attires, so they just swapped the colors, and that's where he got the idea for it.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's what I've heard, anyways.
That actually makes perfect sense.
I also hate this tag team.
Of
When did
what-
Undertaker hit Big Show with a baseball bat? I have a memory of that.
Yes, that is the first thing, the first match together against each other. That's the one Undertaker hits under a Big Show with a baseball bat.
Is that after this?
Oh no, beforehand. That's when Vince, I think that's when Vince was trying to get Undertaker, right after WrestleMania. Right after Undertaker wins against Big Boss Man, he tries to get Big Show to end Undertaker for trying to get the company or some bullshit like that.
Okay, and then Big Show decides to tag with a man that hit him in the head with a baseball bat.
Yeah, and then the week after, Big Show chokeslams the Undertaker to the ring.
Oh, that's okay. That's pretty iconic.
Yeah, he chokeslams him through the ring, and then the tag team, the tag team forms really weirdly. I remember it forms like around Fully Loaded a month before this. It's like Kane is fighting against Big Show, but it's like X-Pac is on the side of Kane, and Undertaker doesn't want Kane to go back to X-Pac because he wants Kane to stay a monster, not.
Yeah, and X-Pac's humanizing him. I knew that.
So that Big Show is fighting against Kane. So Undertaker at the end of the match comes out and beats up Kane for going towards, like, then X-Pac comes and beats up Undertaker, and then Big Show beats up X-Pac. And then so like Undertaker and Big Show are working together against these two. And so it's like they decided to form this tag team.
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Kane's thinnest era, his leanest, was actually before this, a little before, and he started putting size back on. He is still definitely leaner than he was, but he is not as lean in his leanest in this match.
Mhm.
His leanest was probably about 5 months prior, 3 months prior, because this is August. Yeah, it was probably around June. He was very lean. When The Undertaker was beating up X-Pac and stuff, Kane was very, very lean at that point.
Yeah, and you can see Undertaker's cutting weight now more here too, because in like the middle of the ministry, he was putting on a lot of weight. So
I
Undertaker.
remember also when Undertaker first came back, everybody complained that he was fat, apparently.
Yeah, okay.
Like biker Undertaker. But I never really saw it that much either.
Yeah, I never did either. But I remember like the Fully Loaded match, the first blood match, and even the Over the Edge match against Austin. You can see Undertaker was putting on weight, but you can see here he's thinning out again.
Oh, is he? Good for him. Wow, the babyface is cheating.
I know. That's your
I
guy.
haven't watched.
It's your guy.
I've watched this match in recent years, I would say. I have an ad coming up. That being said, I remember watching this match when I was a kid. One of the few, I rented a VHS at the time, I believe, and watched this match.
Wow.
And I was upset that Undertaker and Big Show won, obviously.
How dare you?
X-Pac always bumps with his feet planted. Keep an eye out for that. He just did it there on the floor with The Undertaker.
Yeah, I didn't really see that, but I remember him being like bumping like that.
I remember that spot.
Keep an eye out on that.
I like that spot. Undertaker goes chokeslam X-Pac and Kane pulls him in the ring.
Yeah,
That's cool.
he's saving his buddy. A little thing you have to watch at the end of the match, you can see Undertaker verbally admonishing the Big Show for stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that at the end of the match too.
Do you know what he says, or did someone say anything in an interview about that, or?
I think it's because Big Show pins X-Pac wrong. He just pins him by putting his foot on X-Pac.
Oh.
He should have pinned him better to get the win.
Yeah, in my opinion, I was taught that if someone there's that running DDT. I was taught if someone just pins you with one foot, like just kick out instantly.
Yeah, because Undertaker.
Unless it's purposely booked that way, like a Great Khali or something killing you,
Yeah,
because it's insulting to you, right?
yeah, that's what I think Undertaker was admonishing to him, that it's disrespectful.
Especially X-Pac at this point in time is very well respected.
Mhm.
Yeah, for his wrestling. Big Show's punches are just slaps. Like Big Show's just punching Kane in the side and the gut, and it's just open-handed.
Big Show has told numerous times in the interviews that he was so green at this time that Undertaker, that he was scared to go in the back after matches because he knew Undertaker would just chew his ass out. For the stuff he was
I
doing.
mean, it's so funny because he'd been working for like a few years at this point too.
I know. He just didn't. Undertaker, like he said, that he got so much good advice from the Undertaker, and Undertaker was just telling him all this shit to keep on it. And he was like, he didn't know what was wrong with him back then.
Yeah, like I guarantee WCW was just, you're the man, everybody tell him, and that was it.
Yeah, I think that was it. Nobody admonished him, and then Undertaker's the first one to chew his ass out.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I really like this Kane attire, this mask and attire combo. I really like it.
It's a fan favorite for sure.
Yeah,
One of my favorites, I would say. Like in terms of just looks, like it'd probably be mine, but I have like fonder memories of other Kanes, so it's not. But
I really,
wow.
I think this is the attire he should have debuted in. I really like the red top and the red flames on the side. I really like that.
Yeah, like they never. I mean, it was never thought of at that time.
I know, but that's a really nice debut look because it's more opposite of Undertaker.
Yeah, I think like the debut attire was like the red spikes or the black spikes, the red going up was to signify fire in some way, right?
I guess, but I like the red flames on the side. That pops really more like fire.
Yeah, like Kane, fun fact, Kane had two, he also has a black version of this attire, but this is the first time he's also wearing, well, when he debuted this is the meshed out attire that I'm talking about. If you look
Yeah.
closely at the red spikes, it's like got mesh there, it's see-through, and a figure has never been made properly of that. But anyways, that's another story for another day. But oh, double down, yep. Kane always had, he never had the flame down both legs until he got these attires made. He had the flame down one leg.
Yeah, and that
It was,
crisscross.
yeah, it was this drawstring because it used to be tied on his left side. Because how he gets in this attire, you can see it on his left shoulder. There snaps, and he steps into it and pulls it up and snaps it over his shoulder. It opens up down at the side of his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would tie the side up. But he doesn't tie the side up anymore on this because he doesn't really need to.
Very nice audience sign there. It says Paul Bearer is sexy. Which I never really gave much thought to.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever thought of him as a sexy guy, but
Yeah, but somebody in the crowd does.
each their own.
Each their own, right? Everybody
Where are you?
Everybody does something for somebody. I have Big Show being beat up by Kane on the outside and Undertaker picking up X-Pac in the ring.
Huh. Undertaker just threw X-Pac out of the ring for me. Oh, and here's Big Show. Oh, and here comes Kane. I think Big Show is pressing X-Pac onto the guardrail. Did you see that already?
Yeah.
Okay, well, pause it for a bit. I'll tell you when
Okay, I have Undertaker just rammed X-Pac into the turnbuckle.
Big Show just threw X-Pac over the top rope, which was really nice. So Undertaker's just picking up X-Pac now.
Okay, Undertaker has X-Pac. He just put X-Pac into the turnbuckle. Turnbuckle's in between X-Pac's legs.
I'm not there yet. He's just on the apron. Undertaker just elbowed X-Pac.
You're getting there soon.
Oh, here it comes. And into the post.
There we go. And he just falls to the floor.
Yeah, keep an eye for a bump.
Oh, Kane is attacking the Undertaker now.
I mean, as he should.
Well, he's cheating now. Kane's not leaving.
Yeah, because Big Show wasn't cheating.
Well,
that's not cheat. He's cheating as Big Show headbutts the Undertaker or X-Pac in the nuts.
well.
Yeah. Now
Okay, I don't have a good comeback for that. You're right.
that step on the chest looks so corny. He like put no weight on. Oh, how does Big Show wear no knee pads? Another elbow miss. Wow, big surprise. I want you to see X-Pac's bump because he doesn't kick his feet out. He just plants them and falls back.
The Undertaker's already screaming at Big Show from the thing. He said, "Come on, get on him." He's just so slow.
He's in a bear hug. I missed that.
Yeah, he's in the bear hug now. This is X-Pac's hometown, and he loses in it. So classic WWF.
Yeah.
This is why Undertaker's
Also,
hometown. This is why
also
always
notice that the champs came out first too, eh?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The champs came out first too.
Yes. The champions did enter first.
Oh, Big Show mad now.
He's
I've never liked the Big Show, to be honest with you.
mad at Big
The
Show.
only version of the Big Show I liked was when he was ECW champion and he had the open challenges for everybody. He had some good matches then, I thought.
Oh,
But
low blow to Big Show.
boy, there's just nothing but cheating in this match
Nothing
by
but
both parties. I mean, to be fair, Big Show did low blow X-Pac, but so that's like one of those that come up, little story there. That makes sense to me.
Oh no, yeah, I remember this. Undertaker's gonna get it too. Yeah, there it goes.
I had a slight ad, so I'm just at a hot tag. Undertaker just grabbed X-Pac. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Undertaker got it.
Where's the ref? He literally watched that and he grimaced.
Yeah, it must. Is this a no DQ match?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my god.
Kane getting a hot tag too.
He literally watches that and grimaces. Undertaker's out of the ring.
Kane's just hitting Big Show and Undertaker.
Undertaker's at X-Pac.
I always liked how Undertaker went out of the ring, actually. I remember he catches X-Pac, yeah. Oh, post. Bronco Buster, I assume.
Yeah, Kane got a rope DDT from Undertaker.
Kane forget the fucking tag X-Pac because X-Pac had the like reach and he had the reach and tag himself in.
Yeah,
Like Kane did.
here's the pin. Undertaker screaming at him.
Big Show just no-sold the Bronco Buster. Why does he get up and pin him like that?
I don't know. The Undertaker pinned. Undertaker's tagged himself in now. He's beating up X-Pac. Yeah, Tombstone.
I wonder, was that supposed to be the finish? I wonder, and
probably.
If he just picks him, yep, I bet it was. All right, good for X-Pac for kicking out.
Yeah, I bet it was. Big Show was probably supposed to pin him regularly, and that would have been the finish.
I bet you that's what was supposed to happen. Undertaker giving the Big Show a pretty dirty look too. It looks like.
Yeah.
Glaring at him. Oh, he's swearing at him.
I know he is.
I swear, on a Big Show just said my bad. He kicked out.
He's ripping him. He's ripping Big Show a new one.
You can see the F words.
Yeah, you can see the F words come out of Undertaker's mouth.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Paul Bear's just like, oh, okay.
I like
Big Show's talking back to him a little bit too, which is like a no in wrestling.
I like the ending better of Undertaker tombstoning X-Pac more than Big Show getting the cover.
I like Yeah, I do too, but I like how you could tell because that's when Kane was out with Undertaker. That was what was supposed to happen. And then Big Show didn't pin him nice, which I would have done the exact same thing, in which I would have kicked out as well. And
Mhm.
then Undertaker came in, fed X-Pac punches, and you can just tell it was like Tombstone. That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
And yeah, like you're not kidding. He is some of the earlier stuff, I feel like he might have been just whatever yelling, who knows? But that at the end was he was definitely a not happy.
No, no, no.
Which I don't blame him if that was the finish for Pete's sake. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And that's so weird. Big Show does his choke slam and he falls to his knees and then he gets up to pin him. Like what?
Yeah. Should have been a choke slam and pin him right there.
Well, he's already on his knees. He just
I know.
crawl over.
Big Show.
Yeah, not a fan. Never have been, to be honest.
Nah. I give or take Big Show, really. I give or take Big Show matches. So same question as I posed to you in the last one. How do you feel about this match? Do you like it? Don't like it? How do you feel about this match?
Nothing really happened.
You can give or take it anytime.
What's that, sorry?
You can give or take it anytime. You're not really looking back on this really fondly. You're not gonna watch this.
I honestly don't look back on it fondly because I was disappointed as a kid that Kane X-Pac lost, and I'm still I don't know. I think Kane X-Pac should have won.
Ooh, ouch.
Well, I mean, they never did beat the Undertaker and Big Show.
That's right. The Rock and Sock connection defeats the Undertaker and Big Show. And then who wins I think the Rock and Sock connection beats them again after the Undertaker and Big Show bury Mankind. I think when they defended again, Rock and Sock beats them again. So yeah, they never.
I couldn't tell you, but I just think that they should have got one win against that team.
Yeah. So
especially for how hot Kane and X-Pac were. X-Pac's hometown. I would have had them win and then maybe lose on Raw or something, but give them the big rub. Like they never had Kane and X-Pac never really had a major title defense, and they were really hot.
True, that is true.
Who did they lose the first tag titles to?
Oh my God, I don't even know.
Because this is their second reign, I believe.
It could be. See, I mean, I didn't really follow how their reigns were.
They're short. That's all I know. Within
I imagine so. If I don't remember really them,
I know they beat the Acolytes for their first one, and then they beat like a random D'Lo and Owen or something. No, maybe not. Well, no, Owen was gone by this point. I can't remember.
So how do you feel about the pairing of Undertaker of X-Pac and Kane? Do you like that pairing? Did you like how
I've always enjoyed them, honestly, and I do like the dynamic of like a big guy and a small guy because one can do a lot of the stuff, get sympathy, get the heat put on them, and get the sympathy for it, and then you have a lot of sympathy for especially this match, the Big Show and Undertaker beating up X-Pac. Like I mean, not enough happened in a redemption way, in my opinion. Like Kane came in, he got the hot tag, and that was about it. He didn't really hit anything big. He didn't. Yeah, I don't know. The match was pretty like whatever. No big moves were hit. Yeah, I have a little bit more of a fonder memory of the match now because of Big Show getting admonished. Honestly,
I'm glad I pointed that out to you.
I'm very glad you did as well. But that being said, I never had a fond memory of this match, to be honest, because I was disappointed as a kid that they lost. And like looking back on it, I still think that they should have won at some point. Maybe even not. If you didn't have them win here, they should have either beat them for the titles or defended it against them once. That's my opinion. But especially all the shit that was happening, like Undertaker beating on X-Pac, Paul Bearer turning on Kane, and like X-Pac teaching Kane how to be human, and then they vanquished the evil. Like that's the whole point, is like the good guy overcomes, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised that Rock and Sock connection is the Undertaker's next defense. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like it's just, and Kane and X-Pac were very over at the time. So like I feel like that would have been a good win for them that would have put them even more over.
Mhm.
But
And I know Undertaker and Big Show are just tagging together so that Undertaker can help Big Show become a better wrestler. That's like the whole story here.
oh yeah,
The whole story is like Undertaker taking Big Show under his wing to teach him to be better. And, you know, that's why this whole thing plays out, you know, Undertaker admonishing the student and just trying to have him be, you know, build into the monster wrestler he could be. But
yeah,
as we know, you know, Big Show is Big Show.
yep, that too.
Yeah. So quite a great fun memories for me, you know, watching these back. Nice double feature. And again, like reiterating what you said, matches don't really pop out at me, you know, nothing really, you know, saying, oh, there's the biggest thing of both of these is Undertaker burning the bear at the end of the Inferno match. And the admonishing a Big Show at the end of the SummerSlam match. Like you said, this is like, it's just moments, not really big, impactful things during the matches.
And of course, these are. I like the admonishment. Like that's just funny. Like it's not storyline or anything. That's just humorous to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
obviously, you have a little bit of a bigger memory because of the bear, right? That's for you. Like that has nothing to do
yeah,
with Kane. So.
I remember watching it as a kid, you know, just being, you know, of course, an Inferno match to a kid. It's like, oh, wow. It's like
Yeah.
image and everything about it. It's like so different.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the memories I have about this. And that's it. I'm looking forward to our next one. Our next one is the SmackDown Royal Rumble. And that's really quick. I'm guessing we can maybe do that SmackDown where the Undertaker walks out and Triple H has to fight Kane on the other Inferno match.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we could do a SmackDown double feature next time. I think that sounds like the plan.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So as we wrap up this look back at this other double feature, I thank you again, Kanenite10, for joining me on this journey. I wouldn't ask of anybody else but my Canadian brother of destruction to walk me through and take a look back at all the little things, especially as the Undertaker and Kane are going to be finding themselves hooking up and becoming a tag team before we even know it. So that's going to be fun to rewatch those memories. So as always, Kanenite10, thank you so much for joining me here.
Yeah. We got a little bit of a feud before that, but yeah,
A little bit of a feud, but like before we know it, just have our SmackDown double feature, and then 99 is done, and then we walk right into 2000.
Yeah, then we got that SummerSlam 2000 match.
Yeah.
I have really fond memories over that feud, actually. That was like, I do remember some of like the Ministry Undertaker tail end of stuff with X-Pac, but then that's like my core memories. It's like 2000, that SummerSlam and the lead up and Kane chokeslamming the Undertaker through the ring and taking his, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We'll watch the Kane return with Paul Bearer. I think that happens a little before WrestleMania because Undertaker Kane is with Paul Bearer at WrestleMania. I remember that.
Yeah, so it is before WrestleMania. Never mind.
Yeah, so I remember, and so we'll watch the Kane return. We'll watch the King of the Ring. I think with Undertaker and Kane and Rock.
We gotta watch the Undertaker return, at least the return segment.
Yep, gotta watch the return segment for Undertaker being the badass.
We don't gotta watch the whole Iron Man match.
Oh no, we don't have to watch the whole Iron Man match. But that could be a nice little segment of an episode, the return of Kane and the return of the Undertaker before we get into the SummerSlam match.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me too. So thank you again for joining me here. And as always, we'll be back, same Taker time, same Taker channel. Keep on rolling, baby. Till next time.